Raheem Sterling has a side hustle while he's playing football. I'm broke, baby. I'm back with another video. Today, we're looking at Raheem Sterling's new side hustle. I'm going to be dropping daily YouTube videos. I'm going to hold myself accountable to that. So make sure you subscribe, tune in. We're going to be looking at side hustles, personal finance, anything money related that I think can benefit the viewers, we're going to cover. So today, we're looking at Raheem Sterling and his new side hustle. Let's get straight into this. So I'm going to flip the screen now. Raheem Sterling has a coaching company. This came across my feed about a week ago. And I thought it was interesting that an active football player, an active Premier League football player still in his prime has started a coaching business while he's still playing. And he's actually appearing to some of the coaching sessions. It's pretty unheard of, to be honest, I'd say. And we can actually just look at one of these coaching sessions before we get too deep into the video and analyze how much money he's making. So let's have a look at one of the videos. Let me just mute my mic and
dribble, pass in the corner, and keep trying to do that, because that's what's going to happen when you're now 15, 16, and then my age. Creating those muscle memories of passing the ball in the corners, right? In your shooting, as I said.
Okay, so he is giving practical advice as well as coaching. He's giving, like a bit of mentorship, I'd say, a bit of mentorship, mentality. So this is, it's pretty unheard of, I would say, pretty unheard of for an active player who still could be, technically, he could play tomorrow. They're playing Arsenal tomorrow. He could actually play Carabao Cup. They rotate the team. I don't know if he's in the squad, like, as in he's been on the sheet for the squad, but technically could still turn up tomorrow, and he's giving this advice. But let's look at the caption. Big up rising ballers. They always cover positive things. So this is class from Raheem Sterling. Even though he ain't been playing recently, he's been passing his knowledge on to the younger generation at his RS7 Academy. And like I said, for a football player to be, actively there is crazy. But I don't think he's going to be at every session. So let's look into the numbers now. We're ready to dive into the numbers. So I went on his linked tree, and he has his website along with the coaching session. So we can click on the website before we look at the numbers. So pretty standard website. Quotes from Raheem Sterling. He's got his age groups. He's doing 6 to 8 and 9 to 11. An interesting thing I saw here was I saw Ashley Cole here as well. So you never know. Maybe you're seeing other ex-professional footballers show up. Maybe their kids are being coached by him. So it could be a good place to send your kids. You might have other footballers who are going to be there. So we'll look at the prices now. So the pricing, £25 for an hour, seems reasonable, especially if you got the chance of Raheem Sterling popping down to one of your sessions. And £25 an hour. And if we look at the availability, he does 5 sessions a week. And £25 an hour, you could probably do 20 people in that session, which is going to be £500. And then times 5, that's £3,000 a week. So this business could be turning over £3,000 a week. Of course, it's overheads. They got to rent the pitch, got to pay the other staff, probably admin. Could be walking away with about £1.5 profit, which isn't bad. For you and me, it's not bad. For Raheem Sterling on 300, and I think he's on like 330 grand a week. It's pocket change, let's be honest. But of course, he's not doing it for the money. It's obvious he's not doing it for the money. He's actually started a few other businesses that he might have done for the money. Some of them have failed. According to the Mirror, it suffered huge losses. So let's look into the business that failed from Raheem Sterling. So he had a business called 1692, which is a fashion company. And it's funny because when I searched it, it's coming up with fashion from 1692. But this is Raheem Sterling's fashion brand, fashion line. Looks pretty good, to be honest, like high end, looks quality, class, whatever you want to call it. And this was a fashion show. There you got Popcorn, Beanie Man. You got Leon Bailey. So you got a good Jamaican support there. But yeah, this looked like a fashion show he done. This was in 2021 from his clothing brand. It actually looked pretty decent, to be honest. But according to the Mirror, Raheem Sterling's fashion business collapsed after suffering huge losses. And this was on the 6th of November, 2025. So not too long ago, 2 months ago. And what my problem with this is people have failed businesses all the time. This is not even, might not even be a failed business, and I'll talk about that in a second. But the way that the Mirror reported on this, like, it was such a huge deal and such a huge issue that his business failed. Like, it happens all the time. I've got plenty of failed businesses, and if it's part of business, you're not going to have a hit every time. But my problem is I couldn't find any reports from the Mirror on his new business where he's actually helping young kids and he's not trying to make millions of pounds by doing it. But you're the first people to report when he has a failure. And Raheem Sterling always gets negative press. It's nothing new. It's been getting negative press since he was 16 years old. Like, it's crazy the amount of negativity that surrounds him. And yeah, this article just talks about how the business failed and it lost, I think it said it suffered a loss of, how much was it? I think it was a loss of 1 million. Something like that, something along the lines of that. I can't find it now. Here we go. With losses reaching 1.05 million by 2023. And the thing is with businesses, the way companies' house is set up and business structures are set up. So Raheem Sterling has multiple businesses and he's probably comes under like a group. Like, people create like a group structure to be tax efficient. And disclaimer, I'm not a tax planner, I'm not an accountant, but that's what happens. People set up like a group structure. One company in that group might take a loss and that might offset losses from other companies. So it's not all what it seems when it comes to taking losses. But anyway, negatively reported on this one, but they didn't report positively on his new business. Raheem Sterling also has a media company, I guess you could call it, called Playmakers. They do content. I think they do a bit of management as well. He's worked with a couple of people. I think that's Wilfred Zaha there. I saw Sacco. Was that Sacco? He used to play for Liverpool. A couple other athletes. So, he's diversified his businesses. He's got a property group, which is under his partner's name, Milan. And on that, they had just over 5 million worth of assets, which is probably properties. So, he's diversifying his investments. Not every business is gonna flourish, but property for most people is a sound investment. And yeah, let's go back onto his coaching business. Let's go back onto his page. So, like I said, for Raheem Sterling, this isn't to make profit. But for you and me, could this be a profitable business? So I think this is the first business I wanted to start. Give me 2 seconds, let me take some water. Yeah, so the first business I wanted to start was actually a coaching business. And I think I was in year 10 when I wanted to start it. I went into my old primary school and tried to pattern up things there. And then, yeah, I was just trying to be entrepreneurial from day one. But if we read this post here, let me move my screen a bit. If we read this post here, Raheem Sterling didn't set up to make profit, but I'm going to go on to how you can make profit from this business. So welcome to the RS7 Academy. Over the last year, I was looking for a space for my own son to flourish, get more touches and improve every day. So I decided to create it myself. The RS7 Academy is all about giving young players support, structure and belief. I believe that talent needs nurturing, not just training. We mix elite coaching with personal development, helping the next generation of footballers grow in confidence, skill and love for the game. Bookings for our first public sessions are now open at the RS7 Academy, and this was in August 2025. So he's been doing it for a minute. Like I said, it only came on my feed the other day and I thought it was interesting. So I'm making a video about it now. But let's go back to the main camera. How do you make money from this coaching, from a coaching business? I actually think this is a good side hustle. And it's one of them side hustles that should grow into a business if it's doing it well. If it's a good side hustle, it should grow into a business. So there's actually someone I know. I've done like a TikTok live with them a couple of years ago called Jazzy Rose. I think he still does Instagram. Doesn't come up on my feed anymore. But I remember his story. So I think how he made his first million or how he made the majority of his money. He was a sports coach. I think he took over, like, his friend was a coach and he took over his school and then he just thought I could grow it into more schools and more schools. And he got it to a point where he needed help, he needed more coaches. So he fell back into business and he became like the sales rep for the coaching and used to pitch to other schools and just get more sales and grow the business. And he was able to grow so much where he was turning over hundreds of thousands. And I think he made $1 million from that. I'm not too sure, but it's just an example of how you can scale from coaching, say at one location and scale it over time. It's a business where probably doesn't take much startup investment, a bit of money for equipment. With AI now, you could do so much outreach, automated. You can get AI agents involved. Like that's a whole nother video, which I'm going to talk about AI agents. But it's easily scalable, I would say, easily scalable, and you can make a lot of money from coaching. Raheem Sterling, is he doing it for money? Nah, he's just doing it because, like he said, his son was looking for somewhere for his son, and he thought it'd be a good idea to spread some positivity to the youth. So big up Raheem Sterling for that. So as a side hustle, I am rating coaching, specifically sports coaching. I'm gonna rate it as a 6.5 out of 10 because I think it's scalable. It's a skill and it's a service that's always going to be needed. It's always going to be sports stars. The next generation of sports stars are always looking for coaches, experienced coaches. There's different levels of coaching, beginner, intermediate. There's so much entry points. I'm terrible at football. Like, I'm going to be honest. I'm so average, bang average. I could probably coach. I could go into a primary school and teach kids how to kick a ball. It is what it is. Like there's so many different levels of it. So for me, yeah, 6.5 out of 10 for a side hustle. Would I do it myself? Potentially I would. Probably just the back end of it. I wouldn't do the actual coaching. But it is a good side hustle, I would say. And you could make some decent money from it. But to wrap up the video, just want to say big up to Raheem Sterling. Spreading a positive message to the youth. Always has been doing that, to be honest. People in North London look up to him. I remember when I was younger that we had the David Beckham Academy. I'm from East London and David Beckham was a local lad. And it was going to his academy just meant so much for us. Like we used to go school trips there. We were so gassed to be there. Thought it was going to be the next David Beckham, even if we were rubbish. It just gave us the belief that we could do anything that we wanted to, see in someone from our local area who's a global superstar. And Raheem Sterling is a global superstar. Don't underplay him because in the past few years, he's not done too well. Raheem Sterling will go down as a Premier League great. And he is so underrated in the community. Big up to Raheem Sterling. Follow me for more side hustle content, personal finance content. I want to do more about footballers. Drop some footballers in the comment that you want me to cover because there's so many footballers with so many investments and side hustles. I would love to cover more of that. But follow me for more. I'm broke, baby.